So I wasn't expecting the episode 5 of the Big Bad Mission arc in Super Dragon Ball Heroes to drop today. But this episode is a prime example of why I don't go out of my way to check out the trailers anymore for Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I avoid them, or at least I try to. Same with the spoilers. I know get posted on social media once the episode drops. I try to stay off social media during midweek anyway to avoid spoilers for the One Piece chapters, because I know there's a lot of people that don't really care about other that haven't read the chapter yet, so they just go out the way to post and ruin it for everyone. So I'm not a big fan of that. There wasn't too much to add to what we already know when it comes to like Janemba and I guess his new design. Although to be fair, it's just a different color scheme. Like the purple armor that we see is like pretty much black for the most part, but the new color scheme goes with the background of hell, which I didn't realize that was hell at first, but until Time Patrol Goku and Vegeta explained it, which I kind of like the vibe of that. I thought it was different, even though it was hell. It's usually red, so I thought that was kind of cool. The design, I'm not too crazy about Janemba. It is a different color scheme, but I care about more about what he can do, what he can offer. I care about more what he can bring to the table more as what he looks like or his design. Like, I like a cool design, don't get me wrong, but it's not the most important thing to me. So, but what we do get to find out pretty quick of what Janemba is capable of, and there's a different vibe to this episode anyway. Like just the fact they had a recap, which I didn't think was necessary, but there are some people out there may have forgotten, because this isn't a weekly show like Dragon Ball Super used to be. It was like a monthly thing at best, and it's just a promotional thing to highlight the card game in Japan. So sometimes it suffers for that because there's certain things that get skipped over. You can clearly tell that like, there's a chunk of this fight that got skipped over, because, not only because of the damage that Goku and Vegeta received, but also just due to the fact that what Vegeta said during the beginning stages, like, oh, it did work against him. So I guess they're referring to a technique or something that did not work against Janemba. So I'm curious what that might have been. This is one of those episodes where I think the manga is actually going to benefit because they may highlight what went down during that sequence that got skipped over. And there may be people out there it's like, oh, how is Janemba able to outmaneuver Goku and Vegeta like he's able to in Super Saiyan 4? That's not cool. Well, you really have to pay attention to, and this is what should have been made obvious from the previous episode because of what WWE was doing. His whole purpose for like challenging Goku and Vegeta in the first place was to analyze the data of Goku and Vegeta, the fighting techniques, like so he can copy them. That's what he did. You saw the Vegeta's data enter his own, which becomes super critical in this episode. And he obviously passed that knowledge on to Janemba, which is how he's able to counter Goku and Vegeta and their techniques. And again, it has nothing to do with power, so I'm glad for the most part that actually gets explained. It is a little bit convoluted. I love how we get some callbacks to like the movie, the Fusion Robot movie, Janemba. It's cool to see him again. Like he's a cool villain. A lot of people wanted to see him back, because we get to see him use the energy mouth blast that he used against. Also, keep in mind, like the thing to keep in mind here, like Janemba anyway was able to give Super Saiyan 3 Goku a hard time. It took Gogeta, a fusion of Goku and Vegeta, and Gogeta to go Super Saiyan in order to take Janemba down. So he was already pretty powerful to begin with. So he uses the Mouth Energy Blaster used on Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, on Goku and Vegeta. So that's pretty cool. That was a neat little callback. I kind of wished it would have had Janemba shown to like materialize a sword. That would have been pretty cool. I won't lie. But obviously they didn't do that. They may still do that because he's still in the game. But now, after the end of this episode, the focus is completely off Janemba, and now it's moved on to something else, which is typical Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I won't lie. But it's... So I hope we get to see more for Janemba, just like we got to see a little bit more from Tillis and Bojack. They're still in the game. And then Dr. W pretty much like spells it out for everybody, like, oh, I analyzed your data, your moves during that fight, and I was able to pass that on to Janemba. So that's how I was able to read your moves. It doesn't matter what you do. There's probably the most random thing that happens is like we get Goku and Vegeta, capital called Goku and Vegeta, a portal opens in the sky or in hell. Goku and Vegeta, capital called Goku and Vegeta, Trunks and Pan just fall to the ground casually, like completely out of the blue, no pun intended. That was the most random thing that could have happened. So, but it does add a new layer onto this sequence in the arc right now, so that's pretty cool because we get to see the Time Patrol, all the Time Patrol right now, This is the first time I'm hearing Janemba in his Japanese voice actor. It sounds like Kid Buu, pretty much, when he's like screeching. Also, before Janemba nails, he tries to attack all of them. Goku, Vegeta, Capsule Corp, Goku, Vegeta, they go into Super Saiyan Blue. They try to team up against Janemba. It doesn't work because at the end of the day, it's still Goku Vegeta. Despite the modes being different from Super Saiyan 4, it's still Goku problem because they need something new in order to get the better of Janemba. And it looks like we're going to get something new because just due to the next episode, it looks like we're going to get a different power up for Super Saiyan 4. If it weren't chaotic enough with Q and his minions and the fighters he's brought back, now we have a new layer to this because we have Janemba start to freeze up. You see his legs like start to freeze up, like he's being frozen solid. Then he just gets sent flying into a wall, and then out of nowhere we get the appearance, the first arrival in the anime of Salsa and Poutine from the Demon Realm, which completely threw me off guard because I wasn't expecting them to make an appearance anyway, and kind of raised the question of when this Big Bad Mission arc takes place. Because we saw the special, like episode 20, I wasn't a big fan of it, but we saw the Demon Realm, for the most part, pretty much done. I thought it was destroyed. Mechigamora got slayed by Trunks, and by the way, before they arrive, we actually get everybody trying to attack Janemba. They teamed up. That was pretty cool. We get Trunks going to Super Saiyan 3, like father, like son, for the first time. So, like father, like son, Trunks goes into Super Saiyan 3, much like Vegeta did for the first time in the previous episode. And it's not out of the blue. If you're following the Super Dragon Ball Heroes manga, at least for the Dark Demon Realm stuff, you know Trunks could do that. And we're seeing Trunks in Super Saiyan 3 in the promotional anime, so that's cool. And it's cool to see Trunks and Pan actually try and do something rather than stand on the sidelines. Would have thought that Trunks would have gone Super Saiyan God, but then again, this gets back to my question of when this arc, Big Bad Mission arc, takes place. Does it take place before the ending of the Dark Empire stuff with Mechigamora after he got slayed, or does it take place after? Because the way this episode portrayed it is like it looks like it took place before. I don't know. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people that don't know who these two characters are because they're not familiar with the manga, or they're just not familiar with the promotional clips that we get before this promotional anime even started, before it was even a thing. And what this does is like entices you to actually read the sequel to the Dark Empire stuff, because there is a sequel out. By the way, I'm waiting for more chapters to come out to make sure if it's actually like the entire arc before I actually read any more chapters and review them. So it's not like I'm ignoring it. I'm just waiting for more chapters because the last thing I want is like catch up and find out there's more chapters before the finale. Because I mean, as much as I appreciate them releasing chapters for the Dark Empire and adding dialogue, it takes a hell of a long time to wait for them to like translate it. So you're like waiting for almost like a year at best. So same thing with the manga for the Big Bad Machine. There's no chapters that have been translated to my knowledge. So that's what I'm waiting for. I don't want to like make things difficult for something that's not when it comes to like Super Dragon Ball Heroes, because it's not. I just care about the extra detail from the dialogue that we get in the manga, because they add more layers to this arc without, because obviously they're not restrained by time. More precise anyway. Like the anime, like I said, the beginner stages of this fight got completely skipped over. You can tell that instantly. They're in a rush for time because obviously they added more promotional stuff. They added recaps, which I was a huge fan of. Like in comparison to the last episode, I appreciate the last episode more. But it's just with the return of Janemba and Capsule Corp, Goku, and Time Patrol Goku, Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan Blue teaming up. So that's a first. It was foreshadowed in the opening anyway, so we knew they were going to team up. We just didn't know who's going to be against, like I said. And like I said, I did not expect that ending. That completely threw me off with Poutine and Salsa, Margin Salsa. So this adds a whole new dynamic to this arc, because like, what are they going to do now? Because they're going to cause some trouble. And the first thing, they actually attacked Janemba. They didn't go after the Time Patrol. So what's up with that? So maybe they're on their own. Maybe this has nothing to do with Mechigamora at all. But this has to play a role with Toa because she knows them. So I hope that's what happens. But like I said, the fact that they gave us more questions and it keeps you guessing even more, I appreciate that. So I like Poutine. The design's pretty cool. She's a demon god. Doesn't have a connection with Toa. In fact, if you look on the wiki or if you go on DeviantArt, right, it pretty much states like Poutine kind of like references Toa as an older sister, so that's pretty cool. So the fact that or if Toa has some memories of them, because I'm not too sure if that's the same Toa we've seen in the past from the Demon Realm. We don't know. I hope we get to find out. And obviously, judging from the preview, we're gonna get a power up for Super Saiyan 4. Is they're calling it Limit Break? Like, I mean, it was a term reference from the opening in Dragon Ball Super. Now they're using it for a mode or for a power up in Super Saiyan 4. I'm curious what this thing looks like. I haven't seen the trailers, and I don't care to see the trailer. I want to see this thing in the episode when it hits. Another thing that I appreciated about this episode, it raises awareness and it brings the potential of what else they could add. What can they bring to the table down the line in the future of Super Dragon Ball Heroes? Because I've said this in the past, like they have characters on the side that they can reintroduce at any point. Like Kumba's the first one that comes to mind. Cooler's another. Although Cooler's being used in this arc, but I'm curious if that's still the Golden Meta Cooler version that we've seen previously, or if it's just another Meta Cooler. We don't know. But the fact that they have Poutine and Salsa, personally I like Poutine anyway, so that was a plus for me. This kind of like makes my Dragon Ball Heroes wish list almost complete. The only thing they need to add now that I hope they add in the future is the Secretary of Demigra, Riberu. If she gets added to this at some point, that would be pretty lit. Also, if they add Android 21 in this at some point, that would be pretty epic, and that would make my life complete. They've already got Toa involved, so that's pretty epic in its own right. I want to see what role she has now that these two have appeared. Because obviously, they definitely have a connection. I hope it gets addressed. Yeah, that's what we got coming up. So Goku and Vegeta are going to get a huge power boost, or we're going to get another appearance, another fusion, which at this point it's pretty much overkill. At this point, I'd rather them team up because that was a pretty cool moment, like with Trunks and Pan, because that's going to be on the sidelines anyway. So like to go up against the Time Patrol and Capsule Corp Goku and Vegeta now. So yeah, I say go for it. So, but let me know what you guys think down below. I thought it was an okay episode. It kept me guessing, so I appreciate that. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up. I appreciate that. Helps out the channel. Subscribe to the channel for more Super Dragon Ball Heroes, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.